for me, I think the education must be very affordable or even free. Yeah, this is one of the reasons I choose the YouTube to provide math teaching.
Hi everyone, welcome to Own Your Story. Today my guest is Matthew. He is an online educator with a YouTube channel called Y equals to mx+c.
Yes,
yeah,
right,
it's the famous formula. And today we're going to dive into his story about how he started his journey from day one, like when there's 0 subscriber on YouTube, until today where he has an impressive number of 53,000 subscribers. So let's dive into your story. First of all, you had a background in psychology, but now you're an educator in math. It seems very unrelated. So how do you start this journey as an online educator, specifically in mathematics?
Last time when I studied my STPM in our college, I actually joined the community service, and in the community service, actually I do pass through the 2 years community service. We go to village to trying to help the less educated student, and I realized education actually is very important for the young generation. So at the end, I found actually I quite like education. So after I graduated from psychology, I straight away go to the education. You got a lot of people ask me, why you from psychology you go to teach math? You are not any major in math. One of the reasons I choose math because math is my best subject among the other subject I like. So I try to use all the things I learned in psychology
and then apply it to education. That's brilliant.
Yeah, especially I teach using the video, so I can apply a lot of techniques into the video.
So basically, you start Y equals to mx+c in 2012. And you told me just now, in the first year, after, you spend one whole year and only get 100 subscribers. That's like the starting point, the hard part. And then today, you have 53,000 subscribers. So it means that you must be doing something right. It means that you must be teaching effectively. Can you share with us some of the tips in, coming up with the teaching concept and executing it?
I guess one of the method I use in my teaching is called modeling. This is what I learned from psychology. This theory actually explains like how a baby model their parent and trying to do something. So when I start to make my video, I try different angle, and then I try to find the best angle to make you feel like actually you have a private tutor actually just sit beside you and start to teach you. When you see my video like 4 or 5 years ago, you can find out that actually where every time I make the video, right, I try to like work out all the working, and then whoever student who are not very good in math, right, they watch my video, they can actually follow all my steps. Then I will explain through each of the step, like what formula I use, why I write this step and all. After the first year, I only have 100 subscribers and 36 of it is my friend. So I feel to give up. But then at the moment, I feel like actually I got nothing much to do, so I just
and nothing much to lose.
Nothing much to lose, because that time my so-called my tuition business is going very bad. So I just like maybe doing this so-called online education thing can work. So I continue to work on the second year, and I actually get quite impressive result. That time I remember I have about 1,900 subscribers, like from 100 to 1,900
in 1 year.
Yeah, in 1 year is like time 20. yes. Yes. Yeah, it's time about 20. So I actually start to see some hope lah. But that time I also realized 2,000 subscribers is very little lah in the YouTube world. But then this is something meaningful lah, because a lot of students maybe they are very bad or very poor in math. I think somehow can help them, and they don't even need to pay a penny. So I guess this might be a good idea.
So from day one until now, just now you shared with me that it's one-man team all this time. So what are the challenges, the biggest challenges that you have come across in terms of like executing this?
I cannot say loneliness lah, but because you do everything by yourself and no one to share, and you do not know whether your content is good or not. But luckily at that moment, actually have a lot of subscribers trying to give me a lot of encouragement, say that you are doing a very good job to make this video, and encourage me to actually move on. Seriously, at the first year, after first year, I move on. I need to thanks those like motivation comment a lot. Because I feel to give up, because actually nobody watching my content. But after that, I see a lot of thanks video, and end up got parent or got even teacher come to thanks me. So I actually feel quite proud. so I continue to make on the second year, third year until now about 6 years lah.
Alright, so what is the motivation besides
the comment?
Yeah, besides the comment, what is it that motivates you? It must be something that you see, that you believe. So what is that?
For me, I think the education must be very affordable or even free. Yeah, this is one of the reasons I choose the YouTube to provide math teaching, because I don't know why math is just a very difficult subject for a lot of students. So I always believe the free education, but the free education actually is not easy because everyone needs money for living. But what really motivates me is I trying to do something is good for the society, and I trying to impress more teachers to actually do the same thing with me, because I can only teach math and MF, so I actually need a lot of other subject teacher. But then a lot of teachers think that the online teaching might not work, so I try to use this method to actually see whether I can impress them on that, and then maybe they can join me, or they just open their own channel, teach their own subject. So I keep on doing this one with the vision is like, maybe we can make the Malaysia education better by almost free education, and everyone can afford this as long as you have computer and internet.
And how about personally, how have you evolved along this journey from 6 years ago until today?
I think it make me believe in, if you really like something, right, you should insist doing it. I think persistent determinations, all this is quite important. Even though you might fail in the journey, but then as long as you keep doing and you doing with your heart, and at the end you will see the result. Yes. And it actually, if you say how it's evolved, is if you say about the content, I would say my content become more mature. The way I teach become better, because if every student who follow my YouTube channel know I cannot speak a very fluent English. Right now you
That's
might
very humble.
yes. So but because I keep on using English to teach, I realized within these few years actually the way I explaining actually become better. And of course my knowledge of math also become better, and recently I also start to teach about the pre-U thing, so actually can improve my knowledge in math as well. So this is the way I evolve about the content.
It's always moving, becoming better.
Yes.
How about, is there any setback or mistake or failure that has shaped you who you are today?
Before I start this YouTube channel, I have my own so-called tuition business. I start about like 5 or 6 years ago. I don't even have any experience on how to manage a tuition center. I don't have contact about student and all that. But in that time, I just think that maybe I can teach, and I have a concept and all that. And I spent a lot of money to start the business on renovation and all that. End up, I failed the business. I failed very badly. But during the process of shutting down, because I have no student in the class, I actually start to make the content, because that time I think there's nothing I can lose. So then I start to make the video. I have a little bit result, but I think when you graduate, right, you need to get some experience before you really start any business. At least you know what's happening. And then if you want to start a business, my advice is you need to save more money. Because when that time I start the business, I start to imagine first half year I can start to make profit and all that. And I didn't really.
I think it's a very common pitfall.
And I don't really calculate carefully about the marketing cost and all
cash
that.
Flow.
The cash flow. Cash flow is one of the very headache things. Save more money and then get ready for a lot of challenge.
So that will be your advice for people who want to get into education.
Yeah, especially you want to get if you want to start a online education like me do in the YouTube, I guess you need to be patient and passionate. It's very tough lah, because when you make the video, nobody watch. But then I think everything also got a tipping point lah. So means after you passing through it, you realize more and more people will start to watch your content. And something amazing about internet is it's like compound interest one lah. Because everything grow exponentially lah.
Exponentially.
Yes. When you start a YouTube channel, you see a lot of very successful YouTuber, right? You can feel their passion when they make the content. I think they will release the aura. I don't know how to explain the aura. You just feel very very different one. When you like something, right? When you like something, you're trying to present it. Your audience actually can feel it lah. So passion is something very important, because when you start the YouTube channel, you got no income one. So if you don't like that thing, trust me, it can't go very long one.
How about for young and driven graduates who are about to leave university and enter the real world? What would be your advice for them to navigate career and life? Because it's like, how do you figure out what to do?
From experience, I would say if you want to, there's two paths you can choose lah. Either you want to be a professional, or you want to so-called the entrepreneur, or you want to start your own thing. If you want to be a professional, I think it's very good for you to build your own profile, your own portfolio lah. I mean, you try to go to the multinational company, to all those big company, and then you build your profile, and then you have the experience already. You go to even bigger company, like Google, you climb the ladder, and then you will become a very successful professional. But if you want to go the path like what we do here,
try to change the world.
I think the first mentality is you must ready to fail lah. Is you will pass through a lot of challenge, and those challenges is like you will feel like you fall until very painful one, but then you still need to stand up by yourself and continue to try a new method. And this method doesn't work, you need to keep trying lah. You need to keep trying, and then prepare some money for yourself lah. I think the financially also is another stressful thing to make you give up lah. Because reality, you still need money to survive one. So you get ready to fail and prepare more money, and of course find the right partner to start the right thing, also very important. I make a lot of mistakes about starting a business. You ask me, it's confirmed correct, right? Because when you start a business, you cannot expect. I read a book lah about starting the business. They say you should prepare the cash flow at least for 18 months. They call it three cycle, because each cycle is 6 months. Mean in one business you can make 3 mistakes. Mean the first the first mistake you realize in the 6 months, so you should change it. So you got second chance, you got another 6 months, and then you fail again, then you got last chance. So this is what the advice one of the book actually gave me lah. So you should prepare the cash flow for 18 months, and then you should prepare because within these 6 months you are taking the minimum salary lah, or even no salary at all. So how do you survive, or how your employees survive, and marketing costs because nowadays, even though the internet is very common, but if you want to put money in internet to do the advertising and all that, is very expensive.
And then one thing that I'm very curious about as well, since you mentioned just now you were like at the rock bottom when you lose like 200k in the first business.
Yes.
How at that point, how do you pick yourself up? How do you pull yourself up and do something else?
I just think that I want to do something. Actually, that time I start to make the YouTube channel, I have the concept like, if the YouTube channel doesn't work, maybe I just come out to work like normal people lah. When you go to find a job, and then you have a fixed stable income and all that. But that time, don't know why I read a lot of motivation book lah, and then I also watch the motivation video. I think you have to motivate yourself, because you already negative to the maximum already. You can't be more negative already. I think something very important for you to like so-called break up, something like that, is like it's like you have to admit you already failed. This is something very important. Accept the reality. If you accept you already failed, then you know you need to do something else already. You cannot continue like in the failed situation.
Moving on, is there a book that has the biggest impact in how you do things or how you see the world? And what do you learn from it?
Actually, I read the book about the biography of Steve Jobs. It's by the Walter Isaacson. Even though Steve Jobs is not a very normal person, he's a very outstanding person. But he starts from a very common family. But then he have a dream, and then end up he can change the world. And then how he actually want to pursue the perfection about his product and all that. I think the spirit and all that actually motivate me a lot. And he make me that time it made me think like maybe I can change the world also.
Yes, if you persist and then if you believe, it's like a lot of things has to happen to make that happen.
But he always advised the young people like always go to find your talent. Go find your talent is very important. Even today you still do not know what is your strength and all that. You should keep on finding.
So in the past 3 years, what would you say is the best investment that you have made? It could be in terms of money, effort, or time.
It's my time and effort. If you check my YouTube channel, I think I spend more than 500 hours to actually make all the videos. I make a lot of videos, and then each video I need a lot of time for preparation. The time of preparation I cannot count, but just a lot of time there, because that time I work until like midnight 4 or 5 a.m. to actually continue make the content, because that time you already like go drop to the bottom already. So you just think like just use all your time to do something useful. So yeah, that time I spent a lot of time and effort. Effort is because you want people to watch your YouTube, you will have to make sure your content is okay or even good. So yeah, you need to put a lot of effort. You cannot simply buy a recorder and make a content and then the content can inspire people. That's not going to happen. So you need to prepare a good content and how to teach. Yeah, I also
a lot of thoughts.
A lot of thought, and that time I would always go to watch the Chan Academy. The video is very good. So I see how the people teach, and then I see how I can improve over there. Yeah, I do prepare a lot before I make a video.
And that's hence the 53,000 subscribers.
I still consider not a lot in the YouTube world, but in the education world,
education is quite amazing.
It's not
especially
easy.
Only one subject, mathematics.
Yes. Only one subject is really hard.
Alright, so before we come to the last question of the interview, can you share with us like how where can people find about your channel?
Yeah, you can go to YouTube or you search y equals to mx+c, and then you can easily find my channel, or you just simply type SPM Math or SPM MF in Google, you can easily find my content. You can easily get my content over there.
Okay, come to the last question. What is the impact that you want to make through your work?
I always want to redefine the education. I think one of the big impact I want to do in the education is, I hope education can be equal. Mean you are poor, you are rich, you are smart, or you are not smart. Also, you can get benefit from there. And another things I want to do is, I always want to increase the salary of the teacher, because I think teacher is a very tough job. So I trying to create a platform so I can help the teacher to get a side income, or actually, because a lot of very passionate teachers, when they go to the school, a lot of other paperwork or that will make them become less passionate, and then they will face a lot of other problems also. I think that the teacher should be as important as doctor or lawyer, because I just think education is very, very important. I want to help the student, and at the same time, I hope I can help the teacher in the future.
Alright, before we end, what's your hope for this year?
I hope my YouTube channel can have 100,000 subscribers, which is very challenging because it's time to. When you go to 50,000, you don't go to 100,000. It's like very hard. But then I think it's possible because I start to make the pre-U content, and then I will start to publish my own course in Udemy, because in order to have my own platform, I need to earn some money so still go back to the reality Then I have more time to make more content in YouTube
Great, all the best to you this year, and thank you so much for coming to earn your story and then spending your time with me.
I should be the one to thank you. I should be one to thank you.
I learned a lot from the conversation with you today about your journey, and I feel that it's like whatever I went through, not so bad. All right.
Yeah. So thank you so much for inviting me for this short interview also.
Yeah, no problem. So I hope you guys learned something today, and well, see you guys next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you.